Check. 1 2 1 2 1 2. We in the place to be. It's your man Naledge, born one half of the Kids in the Hall crew. Rapper turned scholar. We are here. First Go Defenders podcast, right? So we four brothers here from Chicago, for Chicago, trying to give a different impression of Chicago to the world. Because Chicago makes the trends and the world just takes it from us, if I say so myself. And so I'm here with three esteemed young men.
Kinda.
Yeah.
One of y'all.
All three of y'all. But anyway, we're esteemed. I think Mario's the only one that can still claim young, right? But Mario has an old spirit, old soul.
Yes, sir.
So we're gonna go around. We're gonna go clockwise. I'll introduce everybody that's sitting with me currently. We have Evan Moore, journalist from the over east, south side, opinionated, but has facts, journalistic facts, to back up most of what he's talking about. So much so he gets trolled by hoteps and
the frat bros. Yeah.
And next to him we have Mario Gage.
Yes, sir.
The prodigy. See, Mario's interesting because Mario's in finance and he's like, I like to say you like Wayman Tinsdale off Strictly Business.
I appreciate that.
If at night he turned into Tommy Davidson, right? So like you both of the characters in
like
one.
that.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Yeah. And so, Mario DJs, Mario's into fashion, he's in all these things that you don't really associate with like white collar, finance guys. He's straight laced, but this guy, man, he has a mean running man. By the way, you might be going for the award for running man. Your mother was a rapper, right? Your mother was an MC. I didn't know that until we were at WHBK and you were like, yo, I'm like, nah, it makes sense. You're a product of the 80s hip hop era, a real product.
I appreciate that. That means the world.
Because we actually met at the Chicago Scholars 35 under 35.
Wow.
Yeah.
The first annual one that they had.
Back in 2015.
And this brother came up and he like, man, I know your music. I think he was the only one there who really was on that. Like, I know your music. Like for real. And then we had conversations from there. Kicked it a few times at Soho House and whatnot. And this brother's been a real resource to me. But he brings a whole different opinion to this set that I think will be very valued. And then my man Jeff Beckham over here, frat. Right. Evan's frat as well, but I think me and Jeff bonded immediately through the bond.
Instant.
You know what I'm saying? Jeff is like the politician. We were just talking about that, but like he has intel on everything that goes on here in Chicago, and I think it's because everybody in Chicago parties and he was a promoter. Still is to an extent, right?
Yeah, I still throw. It's different parties now. We doing fundraisers and galas and stuff like that. But yeah, promoter for 12 years, man.
Right, man. So we have a good group of diverse voices that collectively make up the Go Defenders. But I think it's key for people to understand that the name doesn't just mean we're defending Chicago, because people do like to shit on Chicago a lot in the media. Particularly, we're talking about the whole Chirac and the amount of violence and things that occur here in some of our South and West Side streets. But I think the idea behind what the Go Defenders will mean, at least in terms of what it means to me, is like looking historically at like the Chicago Defender as a publication, which was seen as the most important media source amongst black folks in all of America. And a lot of people don't realize that Chicago was kind of the center of black America prior to this Atlanta stuff.
Right.
And that wave. Like, I think we're situated in the center of the country, and so railroads came through here. We had the biggest airports. Everything kind of rolled through here. And so when Reformation was happening, the trains passed through Chicago. Right. This was like where you stopped at. So, Chicago's always had culture, but we've also all published, and we've always had an important voice when it came to talking about issues that affect the black community. And when we're talking about the Chicago Defender, we're talking about a paper that's been around since the 20s, right? And so in this technological informational age, I think it's cool that we can kind of pay homage to an institution that was very key, still is very key in our city. Because if you go to the Bud Billiken parade, it's still juking.
That's right.
And we want to kind of give a nod to those that aren't familiar with some of the rich history that it is here in Chicago. So I think every episode we'll probably mention something about Chicago that maybe you didn't know, a historical fact that kind of gives credence to why our city is the world-class city that it is. So check it out. It's your man Naledge Born, one half of the Kids in the Hall crew. I am here with the Go Defenders. This is our podcast. We want you to subscribe, want you to like, we want you to go to our pages. We want to get flued out. That's what we trying to do.